I'm treating patients for free, pro bono, people who are out of work because they're in pain. And honestly, I would say that it has been one of the most rewarding things that I've ever done during my career. The richness of stories around people's experience of pain and how pain has woven its nasty web into all aspects of people's lives, into their sleep, their ability to work, their relationships, their self-esteem. It really has conjured all of my training over the past 15 years, 16 years of being an osteopath, my ability to treat pain with my hands, reframe narratives, to counsel people, to help them to accept uncomfortable conditions and move towards their values. And thankfully, it's going really well. We've already reintroduced 2 people back into the workforce who've been experiencing pain for a long time. One individual was completely prevented from going back to work until I was able to treat him successfully. And the motivation for doing this is twofold. One, it became very clear to me at university that the people who I was studying with, who I loved, and also many of the patients who I was treating were not representative of the individuals I might be growing up. In fact, it wasn't until I started to treat patients in maybe the homeless clinic or the HIV clinic where I started to recognize many more familiar states of being that I would have encountered growing up. People who were down and out, depressed, people who had very difficult situations that they were trying to manage as well as being in pain. It really struck me quite early on that osteopathy seems to have potentially fallen into the trap of middle class people treating middle class people. Now, the work of individuals like Robert Sapolsky, the literature on chronic pain, make it very clear that pain is not isolated from our experience as human beings. If we have gone through adverse childhood experiences, we are much more likely to be in pain. If we are less poorly educated, come from financially less robust backgrounds, if our diet is poor, if the narratives around our suffering are maladaptive, all of these things can predispose our pain. The difficulty is pain or chronic pain has a positive correlation to unemployment. So the people who I think with our holistic philosophy, we would be most able to treat and most able to really show off our skill set as an holistic process-based healthcare modality, we're not able to see. And this then leads to skill erosion, where even after a fantastic grounding in education at university, we aren't able to use many of the skills of counseling, of being patient-centered. We're not able to use those skills when we go into the workforce because we're not being presented with patients who really exercise that muscle that we've developed. So this was one concern. The other concern is, especially being Christian, from a Christian philosophy, how can I sit on an asset which is my ability to help people and not help the people who need me most? I have absolutely no interest in treating people I have less interest in treating people who have an abundance of resources, both social and financial. I have much more of an interest in putting my skill set in the center of the chaos, which is pain in many people's lives. But for me to bring this full circle, I wanted to also teach other people how they can also treat chronic pain. So in doing so, I have reached out to the job centres, to charities which help unemployed people back into work. And the deal is that I will treat patients out of pain for free as long as they let me document the process, video, blog, audio, anything like that, for me to then provide courses to students who are out of work, to students who are new to the workforce, or who have an interest in treating chronic pain, whether that they be students or recent postgrads. And part of the reason for this is, to be honest, I do disagree with this, I'm sick and tired of hearing about so many principals complaining of the educational standards of the universities, saying that students who are coming out of university aren't ready to treat patients like they were. I think many of us view our education through rose-tinted glasses. I think we really close the gap, and we really minimalize the wisdom that we've experienced through pattern spotting, through seeing so many people, and we expect people to have that type of knowledge or ability straight out of university. But also, we aren't fulfilling our responsibility to mentor these students. I sit down for at least an hour every week with all of my team members now who've graduated 3 years ago, and we still meet at least an hour every week to discuss new cases. But I can't change the minds of other practitioners or principals, but what I can do is offer some mentorship online via some free resources to students and to recent grads, to educate them on how I treat chronic pain using a combination of modalities: osteopathic philosophy, osteopathic treatment, psychotherapeutic modalities, framework to help me to look at a patient's activity levels or diet, different Likert scales that I might use. So it's really a marriage of three things. One, I love what I do and I want to help more people. Two, people who are out of work get to use my services for free to get back into work. And three, students who want to speed up students or recent grads who want to speed up their transition into work can lean on these case studies, where I will be documenting what I'm doing and explaining what I'm doing via video, audio, and blog posts. So I think that if you're interested, it will be great to hear from you. I'm yet to formulate this into an online course. I've finished 2 case studies already. I just need to write them up and put them on an online platform. But if you're interested in this kind of thing, it'll be great to hear from you. I have found it much more rewarding to work with people who are in more need. And if you do too, I would love to hear from you, because it'll be great to talk to other people who also have the same interests as me. But please reach out to me and I'll keep you informed with this online project that I'm running, which is to treat people who are out of work because they're in pain, pro bono, working with local charities, the job centre, and taking this as a resource and providing it to students who can learn about how to treat chronic pain and all of its complexities. It is incredibly rewarding, and yeah, it'll be great to speak to you about that more. Thank you for watching. This is Elliott. I'm Elliott. I'm the founder of the Revitalize Clinic and Vice President of the Institute of Osteopathy.